Ready?
We're all ready?
Yeah.
Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, this is to state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of the regular meetings on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and by providing a copy of the annual notice of the regular meetings for the year 2017 to the Glen paper, the Glen Voice, Montclair Times, and to the Star Ledger on Tuesday, January 10th, 2017, and by filing said notice in the office of the municipal clerk. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes?
Here.
Zovich?
Here.
Councilor Zovich? Lefkowitz is absent. Councilor Dawson?
Here.
Councilor Murphy is absent. Councilor Morrow?
Here.
Mayor Patrick, present. Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Michael. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the meeting of June 26th, 2017?
So moved.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Robert. Any discussion? Seeing none,
By me.
will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes?
Aye.
Krasovich?
Aye.
Dawson? Aye. Morrow?
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. Motion carries.
Thank you. Are there any written communications?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. We have a little thank you letter from Moms to Man Action, thanking the mayor for issuing a proclamation declaring June 2nd Gun Violence Awareness Day in the borough. In the second, we have a letter from the United States Department of Interior, National Park Service, also transmitting a certificate as a token of appreciation for the contributions to the Federal Preservation Partnership. And that concludes correspondence, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Please file with correspondence. This is the time this is the time when we will take comments from the public. Would anybody like to be heard? Okay. Seeing that.
Actually, I have a quick question.
Please.
Please come up to the microphone.
What microphone?
What microphone? You can use Councilor Moore.
Yeah.
Could you give us your name and address?
Sergeant. Jonathan Russo, address is 500 Ridgewood. I just had a question with the townwide revaluation for taxes.
Yep.
So we purchased our house about a year ago, and our taxes have already gone up about 12% based off of some photographs that were listed from NJMLS. I'm just curious if we'd be hit once again, if there was another tax revaluation, or if we're somehow grandfathered in. I'm not really quite sure how that would work.
You want me to take a crack at that?
Yeah.
Pardon me?
So, I'll take a crack at it. I mean,
Sure.
so the purpose of a townwide revaluation is to assess all properties and then to apportion the tax across all the homes fairly. So if, for example, your home is being assessed at a value that's too high, then you would see a change, right? But until they go through and really evaluate all the neighborhoods in town and all the properties in town, we're not going to be able to really know what the outcome's going to be.
Okay.
The reason why we have been ordered by the county to undertake a reval this year versus last we did was 5 years ago, was because homes are selling at more than 15% above, or enough homes are selling at a price more than 15% above the assessed value.
Okay.
So what we're finding is that home values are increasing, not necessarily across the board in Glen Ridge, but certainly certain areas are increasing more than what we had thought. Now, Mike, would you add anything to that?
Yeah, the reason, another reason for the reval is that what they want to take in market forces. So the rate of appreciation, the town's going to be broken up into different neighborhoods.
Sure.
And different neighborhoods have different rate of appreciation. So what we're trying to do is balance it from the evaluation 5 years ago, where the market has gone.
Got it.
So it sounds like you might have had an added assessment if your taxes went up 12%.
Yeah.
Yes, pretty much. It was basically on the building component, not the land
It
component.
would be.
Right.
So, not to say, but pretty much in the whoever did the inspection pretty much evaluated any upgrade you made. So it's basically how your house would be in the market, but you're already being taxed for any upgrades that have been made to the house.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't expect any surprises if
If
your
they
taxes
did that
were
recently.
adjusted recently. I wouldn't expect that
Right.
there would be additional.
Right. I'm thinking I'm a year behind as opposed to 5 years behind.
No.
That's what I'm
Right.
thinking,
Right.
but
Okay.
I'm not an expert.
And what may, and to the councilor's point, what may happen,
Right.
be the case, since you were recently evaluated, you may be more in the market than your neighbors, so you may
Right.
be pretty much status quo.
Right.
Okay.
Right, it's really to balance the taxes fairly amongst the entire town. So we're still gonna raise the same amount, let's say we raise $40 million in taxes for the school and the municipality, we're still gonna raise 40 million, it's gonna be spread out differently based on the reval.
Understood.
So you can go up, or you can go down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it would go into effect 19 is
In
the plan?
19, that's correct.
Okay.
The inspections will be probably either winter, or probably late in 17, early in 18, when it's effective October 1st.
Got it.
The rate will be set.
Okay. Excellent. I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Would anybody else like to be heard?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you?
Yep.
For the record, I'm Deborah Collins. Use your mic, I think. Okay, so we're sharing. All right, for the record, I'm Deborah Collins, Deputy County Administrator, Director of Small Business Development, and the Affirmative Action Officer for the County of Essex. I'm also the liaison to Glen Ridge, the Borough of Glen Ridge. I just have a couple of announcements this evening and some information for our citizens. The first is that on Saturday, August 5th, there will be a Buzz Fest at the Essex County Environmental Center. That's Saturday, August 5th, 2017, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. There's a $5 fee per person for ages 2 and up. From the beehive to the jar, watch how our beekeeper harvests honey. All participants get to taste a sample of honey directly from the hive. Local jars of honey will be for sale. To register or for more information, please call 973-228-8776. And for those who haven't already received a copy of it, I have copies of the Essex County Summer Music Concert Series. There's a bulletin specifically about the music that will take place in our parks and other outdoor arenas this summer. And that is all for the evening. Thank you so much, and these I will give to the Borough Administrator. Have a great evening.
Deborah, I went to the fireworks at Brookdale. I don't know if anybody else went to the
Yes.
fireworks at Brookdale on the 4th. They were great.
Amazing.
Yeah, they were
Quite
really good.
a finale.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good.
Great, I'll share that with the county executive.
Thank you, yeah.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Would anybody else like to be heard? Seeing none, we'll get to the comments of the mayor. I have a proclamation this evening for Elijah Bashu. Would you come on up, Elijah? Whereas Eagle Scout is the highest honor of scouting and is achieved only through dedication, community service, and hard work. And whereas the rank of Eagle Scout is a lifelong honor and is respected by all persons familiar with scouting. And whereas I have no further comments, but if the scouts would not like to stay and hear the rest of the meeting, now would be a good time to take your leave, but we welcome your staying if you'd like.
Mike, can you get the door open?
Yeah.
Although maybe this would be a good, maybe this would be a good test of the scouts.
Wait, are you gonna take, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Elijah. Congratulations. Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thank you very much.
So much for everything you did for him.
I think that is a good. And I said, well, you can't make it up.
Open mouth is per foot. Mr. Murphy. That was mine. Semper.
You're right.
Semper pedo.
Don't lock us in, Art.
Come on, help me with the Latin here. Come on, lawyer. You probably know. Semper.
Foot in the mouth.
Foot in mouth. Yeah. Semper wrong. All right.
Okay, Councilor Hughes.
Mayor, I have a resolution and a couple of ordinances to present tonight. First, I have Resolution 9617. Be it resolved that the following claims be approved and warrants be drawn for the same, and be it resolved that the Chief Financial Officer, Treasurer of the Borough of Glen Ridge is hereby authorized to issue the payroll for the employees of the Borough of Glen Ridge for the pay date of June 15, 2017. Mayor, I move the resolution.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. You have heard the resolution introduced by Councilor Hughes and seconded by Councilor Sovich. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes,
Aye.
Pasovich.
Aye.
Dawson. Morrow. 4 ayes, no nays. The resolution is approved.
And Mayor, I have two ordinances. The first, which is ordinance number 1664, which authorizes the refunding bond 2007 general bond issue. This is the second reading, Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, this is state for the record that this ordinance has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with the state statute.
I declare the meeting open for discussion of this ordinance, and only this ordinance, this being the time and place for the public hearing.
Mayor,
Would you like to hear it on?
Mayor, real quickly, we're gonna buy out some bonds early and save about over $100,000 by doing so.
Well, that's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
We'd like more gifts like that.
Yep.
Would anybody from the audience like to be heard on that ordinance? With no further comments, I declare the public hearing closed.
Mr. Mayor, I move this ordinance be finally passed.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Anne Marie. You have heard the motion of Councilperson Hughes, seconded by Councilor Will the clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Hughes,
Aye.
Wasovich,
Aye.
Dawson, Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is approved on final reading.
And Mayor, I also have ordinance number 1667. This is an ordinance authorizing a special emergency appropriation in the amount of $275,000, preparation and execution for the complete revaluation of real property in and by the Borough of Glen in the County of Essex, New Jersey. Mayor, I move the ordinance be passed.
Mr. Mayor, just to state for record that this ordinance has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with the state statute.
I declare the meeting open for discussion of this ordinance and only this ordinance, this being the time and place for the public hearing. Anybody like to be heard on this ordinance? With no further comments forthcoming, I declare the public hearing closed.
I move the ordinance.
I'll second.
Second.
Thank you, Paul. You've heard the motion of Councilor Hughes, seconded by Councilor Wasovich. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Hughes,
Aye.
Wasovich,
Aye.
Dawson, Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is adopted on final reading.
That concludes my portion of the meeting, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Wasovich.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a number of items as well, ordinances and one resolution. So I have ordinance number 1665 for final reading. This is an ordinance to amend Chapter 10.32, the restrictions on designated streets.
Mr. Mayor, just to state for the record that this ordinance has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with the state statute.
I declare the meeting open for discussion of this ordinance and only this ordinance, this being the time and place for the public hearing. Would anybody like to be heard on this ordinance?
This simply authorizes ADA parking spaces on Ridgewood Avenue in 2 locations.
Thank you.
Need a second?
Now,
No, you're gonna
having
move it.
heard nothing further, then I will move the ordinance be finally passed.
And I'll be happy to second.
Thank you.
Thank you. You've heard the motion of Councilor Wasovich, seconded by Councilor Hughes. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Hughes,
Aye.
Wasovich,
Aye.
Dawson,
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is adopted on the initial reading.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I also have ordinance number 1668 for first reading. This is an ordinance to amend the Chapter 10.32.10, no parking any time. This is in the area of Lincoln Street on Ridgewood Avenue.
Can I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Councilor Morrow. Is there any discussion among the members of the council on this ordinance?
I think it's a good one. Living on the south end and making those turns, it's very bad vision, so it's a good ordinance.
Thank you. Seeing no further comments, I refer ordinance number 1668 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
We'll also need a roll call.
Call the roll.
Counselor Hughes,
Aye.
Wasovich,
Aye.
Dawson, Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is approved on first reading.
Mr. Mayor, I also have ordinance number 1669 for first reading. This is an ordinance establishing titles for employees of the borough, fixing maximum salaries and other compensation for their titles.
Is that for first reading or second?
It's for first reading.
First reading.
Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Is there any discussion among the members of the council on this ordinance? Seeing no further comments forthcoming, will the clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Hughes,
Aye.
Wasovich,
Aye.
Dawson, Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is passed on first reading.
I refer ordinance number 1668 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
Okay, I also have ordinance number 1670 for first reading. This is an ordinance to amend Chapter 9.14, noise control in the borough. I need a second.
Mayor, I'm happy to second that.
Thank you.
Basically, what we're doing here is we're repealing our old code on the noise restrictions and putting in a new one that completely meets the state standards that were adopted in 2014.
Thank you. Are there any further comments? Seeing none, will clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes.
Aye.
Palovich.
Aye.
Dawson.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is passed on first reading.
I refer ordinance number 1670 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
Boy, we're busy doing things under cover of the summer here. Jeez. I also have ordinance number 1671 for first reading. This is an ordinance to amend Chapter 10 of the Code of the Borough to provide for additional prohibited turns at specific locations.
Mayor, I'd be happy to second that.
Thank you, Councilor Hughes. Any discussion on that?
This is one where we actually talked about it tonight again in workshop, and it's been a concern for quite a while, where we're going to extend the time period where you can't make left turns coming down Woodland onto Ridgewood and a left turn onto
Snowden.
Snowden, thank you,
Yeah.
during school hours,
Yes, for an hour during
when school is beginning and ending.
Right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, will clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes.
Aye.
Palovich.
Aye.
Dawson.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is passed on first reading.
I refer ordinance number 1671 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
And finally, Mr. Mayor, I have resolution number 97-17 to approve the application of the CHB Care Foundation for an off-premise 50/50 raffle, to be held on October 16 at the Glen Ridge Country Club. Mr. Mayor, I move the resolution.
May I have a second?
Second.
Council Moore.
Okay.
Any discussions on this?
Pretty straightforward.
No, there's not going to be any fireworks.
No
tomorrow night.
fireworks.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay, you've heard the resolution introduced by Councilor Lasovich, seconded by Councilor Hughes. Will clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes.
Aye.
Palovich.
Aye.
Dawson.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. The resolution is approved.
And that's all I have, other than I should comment on the swearing-in ceremony, which was quite nice today for officers Barbara Leonardo and Abrahamson.
Yeah. Very nice.
Nice addition to the force, two fine young men.
Yeah. And the force is now at full capacity.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Great.
And that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilor Lefkowitz is not here tonight, so we'll move on to Councilor Dawson.
Okay, I have a brief report regarding the Emerald Ash Borer. We planted a bunch of ash trees around town here now, and we found that, actually the arborist at Essex County discovered the presence of a highly destructive insect known as the Emerald Ash Borer. The Emerald Ash Borer is a small metallic green, non-native invasive pest whose larvae feed on the trunks of ash trees, ultimately disrupting their ability to transport nutrients and causing the trees eventual decline and death. The Emerald Ash Borer feed exclusively on ash trees. As ash trees decline and die, they become brittle and dry very quickly compared to other tree species. That's why it's important to remove dead or declining ash trees in a timely manner. Glen Ridge Shade Tree Commission performed an evaluation of all ash trees on borough properties and in the right-of-way. All healthy trees greater than 6 inches in diameter have been treated with an injected pesticide, and the pesticide must be applied every 2 or 3 years. Based on the lifetime maintenance required to treat smaller ash trees, the negative effect of growing into a small tree for years, policy was established that all ash trees under 6 inches in diameter will be removed and replaced. This summer, the Glen Ridge Public Works Department will be removing the ash trees. Property owners that have these small ash trees in front of their house will receive a letter from the Shade Tree Commission informing them of the removal. Additionally, a new tree will be planted in the fall of 2017 to replace the removed tree. What we have in town now is a situation where many of these mature oak trees have reached their useful life expectancy. And so there's over time, instead of having them all one species, we've been trying to use different species row of trees. So, it turns out, because of the, I think these, pests came in with, pallets, from overseas. They're not a native species of bug that's around, and, they're really doing damage, so we're just something we're gonna have to deal with.
How many trees do we think we have that are ash?
I don't know the number off the top of my head, but they planted a bunch of them. They're the ones that look more bushy. I don't know.
Mike?
You know,
We have it on our tree inventory, I could send an email to council tomorrow.
yeah, they have, now every tree, we had a volunteer, an intern, go through and categorize each tree by a GPS coordinate.
Yep.
And the species and size and, how it looked. And so we can identify them, and, it's really a good way now to, if we send a contractor out to remove some trees, they'll know exactly which ones to take. And
Well, it's huge, and, I mean, it just shows you the value of having a shade tree commission that is paying attention to, issues like pests and parasites that are killing our trees. I mean, in the past, we didn't have this kind of oversight.
No, so it's a good thing, and
But it's disappointing that we may have been planting ash trees over the years and sort of opening ourselves up for this problem. I'd never heard of the ash borer.
No, yes, actually, the League of Municipalities, we had a seminar last year about it, so it can play, moving statewide, and, I know Rich Arborist, found I think it was some type of hotel where they planted all ashes and they all have the board that they have to be removed, so.
Oh, boy.
And we're not the only ones, I know Montclair.
How about the county? I wonder if the county, how many
we have
ashes they...
along Ridgewood Avenue, there's ones that come up, like, those are ash.
Yeah. See, we went through this with maple several years ago when the maple,
Yeah.
had maple decline. Years ago, we had the elms, so we're trying to
Yeah.
diversify the stock, but with occurring receptors testing.
Is there a way to test them when they're planted, or when?
Well, they didn't know they were wrong.
Right now, they're working on basically the policy of when they should be removed and when they should be treated. So they're setting up certain parameters based on the age and the size of the tree, which way we should be going. And, I know our Shade Tree Commission has been working.
And there's no recourse back to the guy that sold us the trees or anything
No,
like that?
this is not, it's not coming from the nursery, this is spreading through the state.
Okay.
So it's not a nursery defect.
I think the one that they were pretty sure came in on pallets.
They came in on pallets, that's correct. When shipping pallets were coming in, it contained the borer, then the borer spread. And that's why now too, even with
That's unusual.
taking down the trees, there's caution on when they should be shredded because of transferring the board.
I mean, they didn't come in like last year on pallets. They came in a long time ago on pallets.
I forgot what state it originally was.
Because now, when you export or import, all pallets have to be treated, and you have to give certification that they were treated, or they have to be plastic.
Or they have to be what?
Plastic or non-wood product, but they have to be treated.
Yeah.
Isn't this a tree where, once if it dies, you have to be very careful about it? When you take it down, because it
It's brittle.
emanates a lot of dust.
They become very brittle, it becomes very expensive, and this is why we have to take down trees that are alive. If you wait till they die, the branches become very brittle, and it's really hard for the tree contractor to take them down without damaging around it, so that's something.
Without damaging what?
Damaging possibly structures around it.
Oh,
If
yeah,
you
right,
have a large
yeah,
tree,
because the
you
tree
can't
will
climb
fail.
the tree, usually what they do, they use climbers or sleds to get up into the tree, and it becomes so brittle, it's impossible to use
Would you
climbers.
send some pictures around of what an ash tree looks like?
Sure, I'll send you, actually what I'll do, I'll send you, the league has a copy of a webinar. I'll send you, it's an hour long, so I'll send, each of the mayor.
Send Paul the hour-long one. Just send me the 3 minutes.
I was just warning you,
will ya?
I was just warning you.
I just want a picture.
I was just warning you.
That's all I want is a picture. I just want to know if I have one in front of my house.
I'll let you know which slide the picture's on.
Well, those big old sycamore trees are the ones that for no good reason at all, they'll drop a pretty big branch.
Yeah.
So they've been, and then whenever they, the oak trees are all got carpenter ants up the middle of them, so when they cut one of them down, you get carpenter ants all over everything.
All right, Art. You win.
Yeah. Well, I've had it in the house, where they took a big tree down in front of my house, so they were, I think, spray all over the place, rock them all. So, am I up now?
You're
Yeah.
up, yeah.
Okay, well, I I went through the report. We have two, items here tonight for myself, and then I'm covering for, Councilor Murphy. So I have resolution number, 98. Well, I guess I should do the ordinance.
Do the capital ordinance first, yes.
I have capital ordinance number 1666. Be it enacted and ordained by the mayor and the borough council of Glen Ridge, the county of Essex, and the state of New Jersey as follows. There shall be the purchase of a 2017 F-450 Mason dump truck and a 2017 Ford F-250 pickup truck for the Departments of Public Works and Parks from Morris County Cooperative Purchasing. The sum of $85,000 is hereby appropriated from the Capital Improvement Fund. The following matters have been hereby determined and declared. The purpose is not a current expense and is an acquisition which may be lawfully made. Gross debt of the borough as defined by RS 40A:26 is not increased by this ordinance. Be it further enacted or named, this ordinance shall take effect immediately upon final passage and publication thereof as provided by law. Mr. Mayor, I offer the resolution ordinance number 1666 for first reading.
Mr. Mayor?
That's second reading.
Second reading.
Second reading.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. I think it's probably just a typo. Don't worry about it.
Second reading.
Yeah, I thought I heard this before.
Yes. Mr. Mayor, this is state for record that this ordinance has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with the state statute.
I declare the meeting open for discussion of this ordinance and only this ordinance, this being the time and place for the public hearing. Would anybody like to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing no one, I declare the public hearing closed.
Yeah, I'll offer the the ordinance, do I have a second?
Second?
Thank you, Councilor. You have heard the motion of Councilor Dawson, seconded by Councilor Morrow. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes?
Aye.
Pasovich?
Aye.
Dawson?
Aye.
Morrow?
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. The ordinance is passed on final reading.
Okay, I'll now have resolution number 9817. The Glen Ridge Department of Public Works has determined there's a need to purchase a new Ford F-250 4x4 pickup truck. And Flemington Ford 215 U.S. Highway 202 Flemington has a cooperative purchasing agreement with Morris County Cooperative to sell the vehicle for $31,878. Whereas Glen Ridge Department of Public Works has determined there is a need to purchase a new Ford F-450 4x4 dump truck. And whereas Flemington Ford again has agreed to sell the vehicle as part of the cooperative contract, the vehicle for $50,385. The Chief Financial Officer has certified the availability of funds from this contract for ordinance 1666. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council of the borough of Glen Ridge hereby approve the 2017 Ford F-250 4x4 pickup truck and the Ford F-450 4x4 dump truck from Flemington Ford for a total of $82,263. These will be used for regular utility work around the borough, and also they're capable of snow plowing. In the unlikely event we get snow.
Right.
Can I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Paul. You have heard the resolution introduced by Councilor Dawson and seconded by Councilor Vasovich. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes?
Aye.
Pasovich?
Aye.
Dawson?
Aye.
Morrow?
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. The resolution is approved.
I'm going to stand in for Councilor Murphy tonight and offer resolution number 99-17. The Borough of Glen Ridge seeks to pool plaster replacement and related maintenance work for the Glen Ridge Community Pool. In accordance with NJSA 40A, the Borough of Glen Ridge used a fair and competitive process to solicit proposals for the forestated service. And whereas on July 10th, 2017, Mid-America Pool Renovation of Grandview, Missouri submitted the lowest responsible proposal in the amount of $86,410. Be it resolved, therefore, that the mayor and council of the borough of Glen Ridge, that Mid-America Pool Renovation Incorporated be awarded the contract for full plaster replacement and related maintenance work for the Glen Community Pool. Mr. Mayor, I offer the resolution.
Wait a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Paul. You've heard the resolution introduced by Councilor Dawson, seconded by Councilor Lisovich. Will clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Hughes.
Aye.
Lisovich.
Aye.
Dawson.
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. The resolution is approved.
How old is the pool?
It was built in 2013, so this will be our 2003, so this is our 14th season.
So it's supposed to be.
And I'd point out that no tax money is going to be involved with this maintenance
That's right.
project, right? This money is all collected from user fees.
Pool has always been a utility, and there has been no transfer from the current fund or taxes
Yep.
to the pool.
Yep.
And it's well used.
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah, they really, it gets a lot of use.
yep.
When are they going to do the plastering, next year or?
No, in the fall, after we close the pool down. The contract specifies that, the bid specified that the work has to be done in the fall, right after the closing.
Okay,
So we'll empty the pool and then,
So after that's done, you'll have to keep it open for a couple of weeks till it be brushed down several times a day?
correct, yeah.
It's going to last another 50 years.
I just did mine, so I know. Last
Yeah,
about
they
17.
have some experience. Yeah.
I'm a pool boy.
I know who can project manage this job.
Yeah.
Done it once this year, I don't want to do it again. Okay, Councilor Morrow.
All I have, Mr. Mayor, is the planning board will be meeting next
Did we-
Wednesday at...
Excuse me, I'm sorry, did we vote on that?
No, we, yes, we did.
Paul seconded it.
Yeah.
But I don't remember voting, but that's...
Well, we did vote.
All right.
Unless you want to do a redo?
No redos. Sorry, Amber.
That's all right. The only thing I have is, the planning board will be meeting next Wednesday, July 19th at 7:30, here at Town Hall.
Great. Are there any comments of the administrator?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This afternoon, we received notice from the Division of Taxation that in light of the 2017 state budget approval, it is estimated that 379 school districts may need to recertify their budgets. This may affect the overall general tax rate for the borough. We were ready to mail the tax bills out later this week. However, due to the recertification, which is a good thing because basically what's happened with these 379 school districts, they're receiving an increase in aid. So until we should have that number by the end of the week, staff is requesting a resolution to extend the grace period from August 10th to August 14th to accommodate the recertification. And that will be under new business. Also under new business, I'm proposing 2 resolutions. Both are actions that are being taken in accordance with the ordinances that were passed under the Finance Committee. One authorizing the issuance of the emergency notes for revaluation, and the other determining the form and other details for the issuance of the refunding bond. And that concludes my comments.
John?
Mr. Mayor, again, thank you for taking the time out tonight to swear in Mr. Leonardo and Abraham Simmons. It was a nice showing from their friends and family. And also wanted to invite everybody from the borough on August 1st. We'll be celebrating National Night Out, Town Pool from 5 to 7. Everybody can come down, take a swim, become the officers from the police department. The fire department will also be on hand. And we typically have a good evening shared by all. Thank you.
Now, is there any new and unfinished business?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, it's requested that the council approve a consent agenda for 3 resolutions unless there's an objection. The first resolution approves the extension of grace period for the payment of taxes due August 1st, 2017 as per New Jersey statute annotated 54-4-67 from August 10th to August 14th. The second resolution authorizes the issuance of 275,000 special emergency notes for the preparation and execution of a complete program of revaluation of real property and all related expenses in and by the Borough of Glen Ridge in the County of Essex, State of New Jersey. And the final resolution will determine the form and other details of the $2.4 million refunding bond to the Borough of Glen Ridge and providing for the sale and delivery of such bonds. So the ordinances approve the debt service. This resolution will actually authorize us to go ahead with the sale of both the notes and bonds.
I would move to pass the resolutions by way of consent agenda.
And we need somebody to propose it, do we not? A second?
We don't need a second on the consent agenda yet.
I'll second that, Mike.
Okay, this resolution is just to have the consent agenda, then we'll follow with the actual voting on the items. Councilor Hughes?
Aye.
Basovic?
Aye.
Dawson?
Aye.
Morrow?
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays, the consent agenda is approved. Now we need a motion for the consent agenda.
Also move.
Paul?
And I'll second that, Mike.
Okay, Councilor Hughes?
Aye.
Basovic?
Aye.
Dawson?
Aye.
Morrow?
Aye.
3 resolutions of the consent agenda are approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Now it's time for comments from the public. Would anybody like to be heard? Seeing none, Council Moore, you have a motion for it?
Yes, motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.